Hello everyone, Miles here, co-founder of Iconic. I'm joined today by Barbara and Sandra, who are both speaking this November at the Product Design Week. For those that have never come across it before, it's a week-long conference looking at the craft of user experience and product design, and really trying to tackle all the different nuances within that role, within that world, and provide content that speaks to everyone's seniorities. So if you're interested in coming along, tickets are on sale. There will be a link attached in our post of this interview. But what I want to dive straight, it's not about that today, it's about who Barbara and who Sandra are. So I want to start with a little conversation about who you are, your personal backgrounds. So maybe take it in turns. I've given your first names, but there's much more to you. Introduce yourselves and tell us about your current roles.
Right, I can start. So I'm Barbara. My background is in cultural studies and in literature, and I've worked in UX writing for 6 years now, both for the B2C and the B2B market, and also on two-sided markets. So, for example, I started out in the business of event organization, so creating the platform for organizers to set up their events and sell their tickets, and for people to buy tickets and then attend events. And currently I'm working for a German-based job network, job marketplace, also for job seekers, to find their next role, and for recruiters to find great talent. And also what's important to me in my career and my last, let's say, 5 to 6 years is that I started the German meetup community UX Writing auf Deutsch, which is focused to promote UX writing and content design in the German-speaking countries and collaborate and interact with a network of experts and promote the topics also in German. And also during COVID, I also started mentoring for the UX Writing Hub Academy and help aspiring content designers enter the field and sharpen their skills. And yeah, that also led me to observe changing trends in the industry and in the discussion around UX writing in the past 5 years. And in my eyes, it went from UX writing basics over connecting on the international level, like creating those vibrant, great UX writing and content design communities. And then it went to the remote strategies and how to like bring together people remotely and still define our craft and their discipline, to now also proving our expertise in UX and promoting the discipline in our own organizations.
Amazing, Barbara. You've been busy. Thank you. Very exciting. And over to you, Sandra.
Yes. So I'm Sandra Simon. Actually, I'm Sandra Simon, I guess, but my name works in many countries. So, I live in Berlin since about 14 years, I think. And I started off, I studied industrial design to start with. And some of us in the UX field have taken that route, I think. And then towards the end of my studies there, I was like, okay, I'm more interested in like interface design and stuff. So I did I did my master's in media design, which it was called. And then I landed my first job at Nintendo, which was very fun. And so I was working for some big, nice, lovely companies in Budapest also, and in London. So that was really cool. Met some lovely people to work with. And since 2010, I'm in Berlin now. And I've first worked for, I'd say, the major real estate platform, which is Immobilien Scout 24, it's called. And so I've been working there for I worked there for 8 years, and then I changed over to Idealo, which is a big, or the biggest, I don't know, legally, I don't know, for me, it's the biggest price comparison website in Germany. And there are other, UK also has an Idealo website, Spain, Italy, and so on, but I think Germany is definitely the biggest market. And so for over 22 years, I'm working as a UX designer, but I am, or a web designer at the time. And 3 years ago, I started the UX Writing Hub, where I met Barbara as well. She was my mentor there. And so since a year or so, I'm now the sole UX writer in our company. It's a team of 44 UX designers and researchers. And I'm doing this together, like UX writing, together with another UX designer. So we're a very small UX writing team.
Very exciting. Thank you for sharing that. And again, a very busy bee. Well, I'm very grateful to have you both here today and excited to welcome you at the UX Writing Conference, which is this November 13th in London. I just wanted to put that date there because I forgot to do that in the intro. So you're both and have found yourself now in, content design, UX writing. There's a few different titles for that role depending on your organization. What does that look like? But I wanted to get a sense of across both of your sort of long careers through UX and design and in content, about some of the biggest influences that have really helped you sculpt how you approach your craft.
Shall I go? Yeah. Well, actually, I can't say there are no names. I can't drop any names, biggest influences or so. But I'd say because I've been in that field for so long and I've been working with so many lovely people, and also my friends around me are very creative people. So I feel they have just been the biggest influence, I guess. And, the city, living in Berlin gives you like input every day. And so I can't actually say, like, maybe the industrial design thing, like less is more, and that sort of thing got me, that followed throughout my career. I like that idea of less is more, and it's true. But yeah, generally no names much.
Awesome.
I can maybe add, as I said before, the amazing content design and UX writing community out there. And I think it's just a bunch of great people, and it's especially open to also new joiners and people who want to connect. And also when I started doing meetups, it was just always fully booked, always people who were like really generally interested and had questions, and then we're discussing and networking, and that's really cool.
Awesome. In the interest of time, I really want to focus a little bit onto your talk because this is what we're here to talk about today. You're joining us at the UX Writing Conference. That's on the 13th, and you're going to be speaking about. You'll be introducing the day. So, talking about what is it, providing tangible tools for better UX writing, and that's getting real. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about what that subject is going to be about and what's inspired this topic?
So inspired definitely by last year's UX Writing Conference in London. So we both have been there at the time, and that's actually the first time we met as well at the conference. Before it was all online. And I remember attending the conference and then, obviously getting inspired by people, talking and chatting to other people in the pauses and stuff. So it was really nice, very nice event. And I did go away feeling a little bit like I need something that I can now bring to the team. You want to share it with the team. They spend all that money and send you there, and then you go, look what I've got for everyone. Like, we're going to do this now and that now. So I was missing that a little bit, like the practical approach or something to take away with me, literally, to bring into the team and to enjoy a lot and be very happy about that I've now got this. So that's when the pitch came in to do this, and luckily that was exactly the route you were going for as well, I guess. So so we're looking forward to having some practical stuff to share and to take away for others and to enjoy, hopefully. Yeah.
Awesome. Can you expand maybe a little bit on what this talk's going to look like then, in terms of the kind of highlights, the overview, so that people can get a sense of what those kind of practical insights are going to be this year.
Should I do it, Barbara? Or yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think for now we're going to talk about like the UX principles, basically, like how, or I don't know how to call it, but like the best practice and how to use them yourself if you're not that experienced, maybe to be able to have like a reference to look at or to guide you a little bit, and also to take that into the team, because not everyone is obviously a UX writer, not everyone is even a UX person, and to just like create awareness, understanding, and some fun actually for people to do this maybe through workshops and through like group work and interaction, and to get everyone on board and excited about the topic.
So it will definitely be with like something to like tangible, something hands-on. And I think after all these years, we're still looking at a relatively new discipline, and promoting it can be tough, especially for one-person teams. And we've heard that there are many people out there who are like working in content design, UX writing, and are like the only person in the company to do that. So having some profound basics and ways to share them with stakeholders can make the difference and create a bonding moment and lead to then also better collaboration. So we're also looking at some methods and some like frameworks and workshop methods.
That's awesome. And what, you know, you've kind of alluded to it there, but why is it such an important topic for now in this current state of the industry?
Well, I think there is still not too much awareness of what this is. I mean, we're a fairly big company, I think, but not many people have heard of UX writing before. And then it's those, like you said before, it's those terms. It's called UX writing. Then it's content design. What does it mean? Do they write? What do they do? And so I think it's very important to, you know, to get the message out what this really is. It's not just writing copy, it's actually creating content, and it's like a mix of UX design and copy, and yeah, to get this out.
Amazing. And for people listening in who are keen to kind of come along or sitting on the fence, it would be helpful for people to understand, like, who is this targeted towards? Like, obviously this is the UX writing conference. We expect people in that craft to be there, but is it applicable to people outside of that discipline too?
So as we are introducing or starting the day, it's basically for everyone. So it's definitely for people who are new to the field and in their first years on the job, or also people in adjacent disciplines, because they will appreciate the clear basics in a format that's easy to share, and also easy to share with other disciplines, people who are not familiar with our concepts or principles, as Sandra said. And it's also for people who are in their mid or late career, and those people will like the hands-on mentality that takes us back to the pre-COVID times and encourages us to gather around the writing table, like gather all the people from all the writing disciplines, or look at some guidelines, look at own copy, and just discuss that and go back to the roots.
Since you mentioned it, I mean, what's that? How's life been in this craft, inside that kind of insular bubble of COVID and post, like where the world is kind of distanced? How's that changed for you?
It's a lot more back and forth for me. So it's, of course, remote settings is asynchronous work, and that's great. But it also has made it harder to get to the point sometimes, to understand each other. So communication is just as important as it used to be, but maybe a little more important now. So yeah, I like to jump on calls, but I can also try to explain things in written. It's just, I really need to be more maybe patient, or I really need to figure out what people mean with their words, and then I try to also explain what I want to convey. So I think that's become a little harder. So that's why we want to take us back to where we used to be with maybe like in-person meetings or just workshops that are created to bring people together in real life.
But also, I think it's really important to meet people every now and again, to actually bond and understand each other, because I think that level has now lost us a little bit, or we have lost the level. I don't know. So basically, we're not so much in touch with our colleagues or so. We don't understand them so well because we don't see them. We just see them in meetings. Then they write a message. Then you misread something maybe. So I think that personal level is super important for teamwork or to work on a project. So yeah.
Amazing. And obviously that goes beyond UX writing, that interconnectivity, that connection in person is why we took all of our events online. Now we're back to in person, and we're trying to predominantly focus on that in-person networking experience. So it's super important. So thanks for talking about your talk. Any last notes, anything that you would hope attendees, if they took one key point away from this presentation that you're going to be delivering, what might that be? And I know you've kind of given the overview, but that's sort of a big highlight for you personally each.
Well, I think you're going to actually literally take something away, like with you, physical thing from the talk. Yeah, that's
so there's going to be a surprise.
A cryptic answer. Yeah.
Well, now people just have to come along to find out what that is, right?
Of course.
Right. My next section then of what I wanted to talk about a little bit is just looking at the state of our industry, opening up the conversation a bit. And I wanted to start by asking you both, and whomever wants to answer on this, what excites you most about the future of your craft within UX product design and obviously content strategy, content writing?
Shall I start? Maybe I think generally what I'm really excited about, seeing how different disciplines or different like task forces or different teams are all working on the same thing basically. So we just realized basically in the company that of course good UX is good SEO. Is it called SEO in English? Yes, it is. Okay. And it's, accessibility criteria, like for websites. Of course, that's the same stuff. It's all the same stuff. Our brand book is referring to the same principles or best practice examples that we also work with in UX. So it's like everyone wants the same stuff, and how they interconnect and how you actually pay into someone else's goals as well while you're doing what you're doing. That's really nice. So I think that's getting more and more, and yeah, it's really cool.
I love that. Thanks. Thanks for your answer. And what about emerging technologies, new kind of entering the space? Obviously, we're in the advent of AI. We've got kind of extended reality experiences. How does that shape, and maybe you haven't touched it or thought about it, and that's fine too, but how do you feel that that's shaping the future of your industry, your craft specifically?
It's definitely changing everything. So AI will change how we work, will change what we work on, but I think that especially our skill set is the perfect one to also shape AI. So we will have the need to explain to AI what we actually want to build. So it's actually what we've trained like for a couple of years and almost decades to ask questions and ask the why. As product managers, why? What's the logic? Why did you decide for this and not that? What's the research behind it? So understanding everything, but then also reproducing it and communicating it to other people and in the end to users. So our skills will help us prompt AI and actually telling AI what it's supposed to do. So I think that's just changing what we will be working on and how we work, but the skills we actually already have.
Well, that's good, isn't it? Very cool. No, I find prompting AI is fascinating, the things you can get it to do, and the way that slight nuance in the way that you word your prompt can make all the difference. It's so yeah, looking forward to seeing what comes of that. So talking of kind of new softwares, new like tools and things like that, what are there any in your craft for writing that you would advise for anyone to check out? I mean, there's some staples and then maybe some individual ones within what you're allowed to share, because I know some organizations don't even permit you to kind of share that.
Oh, secretive organizations. Well, actually, we have nothing too special to work with, so I'm going to share it. But I actually enjoyed Notion when I did that UX writing course, because it made me like do really nice tables with rationale and all that. That was really cool. Then I never used it again since. I don't know why, but it was good at the time. And I enjoy Figma, but obviously we have to use Figma because the designers, and I'm also a designer, so I'm using it for both. And Miro, yeah. So Miro is like the thing everyone uses, obviously, and it's really nice for sharing and creating stuff. But we don't have any plugins or so for Figma that we use to do writing.
So the same all-time favorites, Figma and Miro. When it comes to AI, we have a company AI. It's like LLM, so you can just prompt it and it will generate text for you. But I've been exploring other tools, like just to name a few. It's Mind Studio or Claude or Sloth. And those tools either allow you to, as I said, prompt and describe the features or apps you want to build. And yeah, they will tell you how to do it, like how to code yourself in a, like that sounds scary, but in a kind of easy way. Or you can set up kind of flows and logic, and then through data you provide, which also, sorry, everything of this sounds scary, but once you tap into it, you will see that it has become a lot more usable, and it will democratize UX and product building and development, actually. Oh, Miles froze. You're on mute.
What is frozen? What is on mute? Brilliant.
Okay, but then it's also not recording, probably. I don't know.
Oh, wait. I'll come back in. Maybe.
He was shocked by the explanation of how to develop apps and add your own data.
There he is. Oh no. Yeah. I'm gonna come back.
Well, actually, we do have the questions. We can just interview each other.
Okay.
That was bizarre. Sorry, it's still recording. Did you at least finish what you were saying? Because I can just cut then after that.
Yes, I did.
I know.
We were also thinking about just continuing the interview and interviewing each other because we have the questions.
All right. Well, I would chop this bit, obviously. But yeah, my internet just completely went. Anyway, I'm going to dive in. I've got a couple of last questions. We're just going to go on to bits of advice and then the fun questions. Have you got a hard stop in a minute?
No, it's fine.
Okay. All right, cool. Okay. I'm going to pick up with my first question. Let me just. I wanted to ask you both whether or not you have any advice that you might offer to aspiring UX writers, perhaps things you might have liked to know before you entered the career yourselves.
Yes, I think I have some. Because for me, I think if someone would have told me in the beginning that I don't have to know or do everything or be able to do everything, it would have been very nice. Because I always thought I have to not just be able to do design, but I also have to code, and then I have to, at least, of course, I should understand code. That's quite a good thing anyways, but I don't have to code myself. And I don't have to do illustrations, for example. I really don't like doing illustrations, but I never wanted to admit it. And after a few years, not too long distance, I actually stood up and I was like, right, I'm not good at illustrations and I don't want to create icons for anything. I need other people to do this because I want to do concept and that sort of thing. And that was so liberating. And I'm much happier that I'm actually focusing on stuff that I'm good at or I'm comfortable with. So yeah, maybe, I mean, it's nice to look at other disciplines like now I did with UX writing. Otherwise, I would be maybe a bit more, bored or less challenged or less happy. But it's not necessary to know everything, I think.
I think that's wonderful advice, because everyone always thinks they've got to be the jack of all trades, this unicorn, right? And it's sometimes just be an expert of one craft is gonna, or a few things that support each other.
Yes.
So yeah,
Actually,
I love that.
that's a really good German word for it. It's a eierlegende Wollmilchsau, which is an egg-laying wool milk pig. Right, that's the one that does everything.
Does everything, yeah.
It goes from this side of the page to this side of the page.
Yeah.
Very nice. And what about yourself, Barbara?
Yeah, +1 to that. And I would say that it's changing all the time. So AI might seem scary, and apparently landing a job, entering the field is not so easy right now. So it involves a lot of interview steps that can be scary, but it shouldn't stop you. And also, as Sandra said, you don't need to know everything in the beginning. So you just need someone who believes in you and believes in your curiosity. And then you can learn a lot from your colleagues. It's UX design in general is, in my eyes, very open and very friendly. So people who are curious, who want to change things, who are interested, who also want to sharpen their skills, I think those people are very welcome.
Awesome. Love that answer as well. But what about yourselves? How do you both stay creative, stay inspired outside of kind of your day-to-day job?
I think probably the obvious, like newsletters, as there are loads of them for UX writing, content design as well. Then, yeah, there are loads of webinars or something, like loads of free ones as well. You just sign up and you hang out with other people online. Or there are more and more meetups again now, which is very nice. And obviously, constant exchange with people in the office or with friends. And yeah.
I like to challenge myself. So when Sandra asked me to join her talk, I just said yes. So saying yes, and if people suggest something and they also, of course, request some of your time and your expertise, but then saying yes is challenging and might be difficult sometimes time-wise and so on. But it's really, it has allowed me to do many cool things and also connect with many cool people.
Amazing. So get out there, be proactive.
Totally. Or also pitch a talk, you would have never done really, but you just
all ears. Yeah, I'm all ears. Like, reach out.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. My last couple of questions, if to help people who come to the event, they want to come and say hi to both of you, but they maybe want to break the ice. So I want to give people a little fun fact about each of you, or I want you to give me a fun fact about each of you that maybe they could come and talk to you about.
I can ride a unicycle. So as a child, I did circus sports. And yeah, I learned that, and it's cool. It's fun. I don't ride the unicycle through my city though.
I was going to say, that's how you should get to the stage, you know? You should just suck
Exactly.
into the unicycle.
I think she should.
I think I just have hand luggage on my flight to London.
I think you can organize it in London, right, Miles? You can organize a unicycle. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll find the unicycle.
Nice. I have a fun fact that is a bit weird, but when I worked for Walt Disney, they sent me to Disneyland, Paris, for it's like an incentive some employees could go to. And then I was Captain Hook in the Disney parade, which was very weird. And it was really hard work, but it was a lot of fun as well. And it was the quickest half hour of my life, I think. You just go out with this massive ear on, and they distribute the costumes to your height. And I'm tall, so I got this weird Captain Hook thing. And you're not allowed to talk. You're not allowed to do anything. Even if you step on someone's foot, you can't say sorry, you know, because Captain Hook doesn't speak like me. So, yeah. Yeah. So people might approach me like that now at the conference.
Hi, Sandra. Amazing. And kind of on that same vein, a bit of a conversation starter. If you weren't in UX or UX writing, content design, what would you be? Have you ever thought about it?
Well, I think I would probably, but now, not at the time, because I didn't like it then, but I would now probably be doing something with psychology, because I find this very helpful to understand things, like why certain people are acting certain ways, or why my kids act certain ways. Like, I don't understand what they're doing, why they're doing this, but they're in a certain phase of their development. So I would like to have, like, you know, I'm obviously reading up on it, but it's a lot of work to keep up with, you know, what everyone's up to. And also to, I think that would be very helpful for everyday life too. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
and for me, I think it would be teaching. I've come to love teaching and passing on knowledge as a mentor, but also like now with this talk, and I just enjoy it. I don't know about teaching children, but definitely adults, grown-ups.
That's awesome. Both very, very exciting careers. I think, well, anyone who's interested in, the whole week's going to be a lot of learning and education. So speaking to the teachership. And then obviously we've got the BAD conference as well, which is also on the 13th of November, which is about behavior and design and looking at the roots in social sciences, psychology, anthropology as well. So yeah, there'll be something for you there, Sandra.
Yes.
Amazing. Well, look, that's the end of my questions for you both today. Is there any last sort of words or tips that you'd like to share with anyone who's looking to attend your talk at Product Design Week, just to close us out?
Attend our talk, get inspired, and pick up your little surprise.
Nice. Yes. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and actually it looks much bigger than last year's event. We've only been to the UX Writing Conference, but this year we're going to be at there more days. But it's a beautiful venue, I think, and lots of exciting speakers. So that should be really cool. In a lovely city as well. So
yeah, London's all right.
London's all right.
Yeah, we're looking forward to welcoming you over. For one more time for anyone listening in, tickets are on sale. You can go grab yours now. It's November the 11th to the 15th. Check out the different days. There's over 80 speakers, I think, now across the week. Google is sponsoring a stage now all around AI and the craft of UX, which is a new addition. So very excited for the conference. Thank you very much to my two guests, to Barbara and to Sandra. Really appreciated your time and having a chat with you more about who you are and what you'll be speaking about this November. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Miles. All right, see you then.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.